Good afternoon, sports fans from all around the globe. I am your host, Jeff Dasson, East Coast Sports Investors, and this is your midday market report for Thursday, March 10th, 2022. It's Champ Week, it's March Madness, and oh boy, did the Wolverines collapse or what? OMG, watching Twitterville right now. Yeah, I left the office for 10 minutes and I came back and Michigan still hadn't scored. I was talking to some colleagues and I said, man, that line smelt to holy heaven. Michigan opens up 1 point favorites. Jawan Howard back, Dickinson back. Public bites the hook, goes to 3.5, doing cartwheels at halftime and the start of the second half, and then boom. And that's what happens in these games. I mean, I'm just looking at some scores here. Uh, the Dukies up one with 4 minutes to go. I'm going to get hosed by George Mason, and that's a whole nother story. Butler Providence tied with 3:36 to go. A&M, another one that the Florida line smelt, up 10 with 3 minutes to go. Texas up 10 with 11 to go. Buffalo 21-18 early. But it's our time of week where we get to tiptoe over to the Windy City. I like to say the Windy City Review. And today is Thursday. It's the mid-major king himself, the one, the only Mr. Colton Sroka.
Jeff, what's going on, my friend? How are you?
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm spectacular. It's a beautiful day to be alive. Rest is up to me and thee. I'm choosing to spread positivity. Nothing but it, my friend. Speaking of doing cartwheels, my partner, Mr. Riley Magnuson, gave out that Indiana Hoosiers pick plus 2.5 this morning on our show. Hope you guys tuned in live. Got that bad boy right to the pay window. So shout out, partner. I know you're watching here today. Also, apologies for George Mason and what's going on there. I'm not really sure what the hell is going on right now. Yeah, they are they're definitely going to biff this one. I took Fordham plus the 5.5. I've had a very keen eye for money, for movement, for where things are. In another active sweat with Akron plus 2.5. Sorry I couldn't give that on your show too, but shaking out pretty similarly to how this George Mason Fordham game is. And I said on our show, I would have taken that George Mason Fordham game down to 2.5, if not put Fordham minus 2.5 favorites. It's really how this has been. And all those, I tweeted it out this morning, all those year-long trends, all that, how they've done on the road and away and this and that, it doesn't matter right now. This is March, my friends. This is time when the wild happens, when the nonsense becomes reality. We all lose our minds. But you know, I don't know. I don't want to toot my own horn, Jeff, but I'm 12-3 over my last 15 here since Sunday rolling in. We cashed this Fordham one, we cashed this Akron one. We're staying cooking. I mean, I know I'll cool down at some point in time, but seems to be like finally heating up for all my rough beats I took all year.
And I've been following you, of course, and I've seen the fire, as I like to say. We came into today 6-0 this week. We were up 6.65 units. I've talked
Love it.
about running to the window at 11:30 a.m., 12 a.m., 12 noon. Haven't had a lot of luck and success there, and I'm breaking down the games, and the Indiana stuck out like a sore thumb.
Yep.
And then I dug deeper in the George Mason, who's been playing awful basketball, and already have a loss on them against Fordham. And the line was 4.5 overnight, went to 6, even 6.5, some spots. And you know what? I try to give my clients and family at least a half hour before tip off. And I was like, I'm not going to do this to them. So what I really should have done is passed on both. But instead, I was like, I'm going to stick with what my eyes are seeing in Mason. And it's our first loss of the week.
Um, Yeah. Hey, at least you're hot, my friend. I just cashed that Fordham plus 5.5 ticket, so I'm pretty ecstatic about that. I've been coining it on our show an A10 annihilator a day. Will keep the doctor away. I've been coining these A10 plays, my A10 annihilators. You know how I go. But don't worry, I got one for you guys here on the second half of the show. I also got one that I thought this morning was a complete setup. Of the opposite side that what I'm backing. And now, as it rolls on in the afternoon, I'm even more certain of that, my friend. I have seen all types of people buying into the opposite side. Setup and a half. Can't wait to talk about those. We got the board bender parlay. Dare I say we have 6 legs on this bad boy today. It's paying out 45 to 1 odds. 45 to 1 odds. And we went back and forth. We went left, right, and center. It's all college basketball legs. I've really keyed in on this lack of line or line movement, lack thereof, whatever it might be, when you see some sharp splits or really what hasn't been sharp splits. You can't really buy it on college basketball, but we're finding out. If you haven't been betting college basketball all year, trying to buy steam is just something you cannot do. And I've really been keying in on those spots, and it's been really damn profitable. So see if we can cook one up here and get one to the pay window for you and all your viewers out there today. I mean, hey, a little $10 pizza and beer money. Everybody got that in the back pocket. Win you a quick $500 holla. I mean, that sounds like a hell of a Thursday for me. Just in time for March, Mr. Dawson. Hey, I mean, enough for me. I've been blabbing over here. What's the good word? What do you got for me? I mean, we got NFTs. We got college basketball left, right, and center. I mean, I'm ready to rock and roll. What do we got? We can go rapid fire. We can go slow pace. I'm all about it.
Well, I'm going to just throw a curveball at you to start.
Sure.
Because as we try to process what's going on in these games, I'll be the first one to admit I saw UConn open up at 4 today against Seton Hall. I said it a week ago. I'm saying it again today. I am scared shitless of the Hall today. I don't like it. It smells to holy hell. It's that 9:30 start. I watched UConn at Gamble beat Seton Hall, but it was just a grab ass back and forth. They match up real well against each other. And of course, everyone's eyeing the fact that the next game could be that Nova UConn game that we've been talking about. When you're breaking down these brackets, okay, and you're trying to, like when you get them on Sunday, you're trying to figure out the pieces of the puzzle. You're trying to break Da Vinci's code.
Sure.
When you're looking at these, do you ever take a step ahead and say, okay, I really like this game today and see their path? So I guess my initial question was, did you grab any pre-flop futures in any of these conferences, or did you just dig in day to day and then just, ride in the hot streak?
I'm not a futures guy, really, Jeff. I mean, I know we talk about it a little bit, and it's not that I don't like to have my money tied up for long periods of time, but I'm just all about that ticket cashing, baby. I love it every single day, and if I'm hot, I'm hot, and I'm gonna ride that. And I mean, maybe I'll have a sprinkle here or there at some point in time. But you talk about kind of the brackets come out on Sunday, and you look, and reality and gambling are two totally different things, as funny as that sounds. And what I mean by that is I say it all the time on our show, and it's we play numbers, not storylines and teams. It doesn't matter what seed is where, going who's a, what's a, when's a, why's a. That shit doesn't matter. It really doesn't, because at the end of the day, it's still us versus the books. They're still setting the lines, and they're still putting them in the right spots to set up the public. Now, I'll go back. Perfect segue into Seton Hall versus UConn. I would be scared of the shitless of Seton Hall if I were you too, my friend. I look, and I don't know if this is a typo or not, but our good friends over at Sroka and Golden Nugget have Seton Hall at +4 as underdog. So I'm thinking this is just a typo on my tracking app, because everywhere else has it +4 for UConn. Now, why that scares me, that's UConn. They're a Husky dog, public dog. Yeah, okay, so that you're seeing where that connection is. And I look, 74% of bets and 55% of money, yet this line is frozen solid at 4. And that is something very key going into March, my friends. I know it sounds crazy. I know you wouldn't expect certain things like this, but the line movement in those situations is so key. It's so critical. it's really what you want to pay attention to. So 74% of bets, like I said, 55% of money. Yet that +4 is not going anywhere. So not even necessarily really seeing like, oh, what would this mean for Seton Hall if they advance, or UConn, or I'm literally just looking at this matchup right here, right now. And if I was a betting man, I don't have this on my card, I'd play Seton Hall -4 with confidence. And I do apologize, my friend.
Well, Seton Hall is +4.
Are they +4?
Yeah.
So I don't know what so Seton Hall is +4. So then I don't know where the typo is, because when I look, it does show +4 on Circa and Golden Nugget, but everywhere else, Bet Rivers IL, PointsBet, Caesars, FanDuel IL, it's all showing -4 for Seton Hall. Now that could just be a typo on the tracking app that I'm utilizing, but if it is +4, then yeah, take the +4 with confidence, left, right, and center. Either way, well, I mean, 150%. Take the Pirates. All about it. I apologize, my friend. It's one of those. They're already in the tournament. What do the Huskies need this for? You know, they're in the tournament. Let the Pirates have some fun in the Big East, and then stomp their ass when it comes to later on in March. There you go.
Well, as we speak, Texas has taken the gas pipe. They're only up 1 now.
Oh wow.
Florida trying to make a late rally. They cut it to 5. And the Butler in the kitchen with the candlestick, up 59-58 with a minute to go.
I'm telling you what, that Butler team, come tournament time, my friend, is scary year in and year out. It's nice to have that, that little dash in the middle. They bury you 6 feet under the start, the finish. That little dash in the middle is always nice. The regular season is always nice to do good during that time. But if you can scuffle into the conference tournament and do some wild shit and make yourself a big dance bid, somehow formulate that, I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibilities that Butler could make a round of 32, Sweet 16. I mean, they're a good team. They just scuffled in a lot of spots where they shouldn't have, and now come March, look at what they're doing. Look what they're doing. My boys and Ed Cooley living the American dream. What are they? I mean, come on. You know how many tickets those boys have cashed me this year? So hey, Butler heating up. There's maybe something else to think about.
But this is just the typical Providence game. They just hang around, and they find a way to win. And again, let me see. Indiana comes all the way back, wins by 5. The Dukies end up to hit the free throws. They won by 9. Fordham wins by 5. So anything, it's that madness time. So that's all it is. It's madness. It's March. Let's pull the screen up. Let's get to what the people want. They're here to hear you.
Cheapers. They're here for picks. We're going straight for picks early, so we got time for nonsense at the end. All right. I like the way you think, my friend. All right. So without further ado, doggone it, I didn't look up the rotation numbers. I got sidetracked. I didn't look up the rotation numbers. So we're going, this one is on the 4:30 p.m. Central slate. So going to be 5:30 your time. Looking for the UNLV running Rebels against the Wyoming Cowboys. If I see her, I will shout it out. The Yahtzee 785, 786 on the rotation number there, my friends, if you can't see it on the screen. But my friends, we're calling this the Mountain West Wiper to kick things off for you here on the first official touchdown of the Windy City Review. Park the Learjet in the backyard. We got plenty of room. Kick your feet back. We got a couple of extra beds and blankets for you. It's time to sit back with the TTL crew for the first day. Tomorrow, my partner at 9 a.m. Central. But today, we cashed some tickets on this side of things. So, first things first, the Mountain West Wiper, my friends. And you might be thinking I'm going one way, depending on how many times you see me talk on this show or my personal show. But taking the UNLV running Rebs +1 in this spot, my friends. Again, if you know me, you know how many damn tickets Wyoming has cashed me this year. So if I have the Yones to fade them in this spot, especially in a conference tournament spot, you have to know that it's the right side. The line movement is the key thing for me. Just talked about it a little bit with Seton Hall and UConn. First of all, there is zero reason for this damn line to be a pick'em. There's just not. Wyoming is far and away the better team than UNLV, and this comes down to we play numbers, not teams in storylines. So many people, their brothers, their uncles, their sisters, their mothers, their fathers, their dogs, their twice cousin removed sister, daddy, uncle is playing the doggone Wyoming Cowboys -1, and we're going to take advantage of that. I talk about it all the time. When they all zig, we zag. Now, this opened up as a virtual pick'em with UNLV as the favorite, which I think it was the correct value, but then Wyoming quickly moved up to the -1 favorite. It flipped. Duh, no kidding. They're the public favorite. Everybody started throwing money and bets at them left, right, and center, and now, the line is frozen at -1. I've been talking about that a lot. When you see a line freeze here during conference tournament time, especially like a side with Wyoming at -1, getting 73% of bets and 64% of money, you have to take note. With that type of split, you would like to see the line moving up to 2, 2.5, even 3.5 in some spots, and it simply is not. It's more frozen than the doggone ice cube that fell out of the tray a month ago and is in the back of your doggone ice chest, my friends. I'm telling you, it is solid. Now, Wyoming, they're 2-3 straight up and against the number, their last 5 overall. If you don't believe me on all of that, they're 1-2-1 ATS this season as a 1 to 2.5 point favorite, so this has not been a good spot for them at all. And they're 13-5 straight up, 9-8-1 in conference play. That 9-8-1 ATS record has really started to go down in the wrong direction because of how they've scuffled here towards the end of the year. Speaking of scuffling towards the end of the year, that's something UNLV has not done. They're actually starting to heat up. 3-2 straight up and against the spread, last 5 overall. They're 1-2 against the number as a 1 to 2.5 point dog, but I didn't hide that stat from you. I very easily could have, and their 2 failed covers were a complete different spot, +1.5, +2.5, hard firm numbers. Again, this is just a set up in a half, and it is a frozen line set up in the half on behalf of the side of Wyoming. Not to mention 10-8 straight up and against the number for the old UNLV running Rebs. And I'm not telling you guys, in conference play that is, and I'm not telling you guys that this won't be a sweaty affair. I'm not telling you that you're not going to, like I'm watching Akron right now, 26-23. They're going to go down just like Fordham. Fordham was down by, they were down 37-30 to start the second half, and they just won by 5. This is March, my friends. I promise you, this is going to be a sweaty affair, but I promise you that the running Rebs are going to get us to the pay window. You don't believe me for the first time today. Believe the trends. UNLV, 4-0 ATS, last 4 following a straight-up loss. 7-2 ATS, last 9 following an ATS loss. 4-1 ATS, last 5 as a dog. And 4-1 ATS, last 5 versus a team with a straight-up winning percentage greater than 600. Where Wyoming is 1-3-1 ATS, their last 5 versus a team with a straight-up winning record overall. They're also 11-23 against the number. How about this for a sample size? Their last 34 games as a neutral site favorite, and UNLV is 6-2 against the number, their last 8 meetings with Wyoming. It's a setup and a half. First best bet of the day, UNLV Rebs, +1.
I caught that overnight myself, and
That a boy.
I was saying the same thing. I'm like,
Yes,
Wyoming,
sir.
especially in this conference right here, and
Yep.
the game right below it is another one that's intriguing. Is overnight Colorado State opened up at 1.5, and they shot right to 4. But good eyes on UNLV.
Appreciate you, my man. I like that one a lot. So appreciate your I don't know what the word. I'm glad we're writing it together, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I appreciate your kind words and being on my side. Let's get into the damn pay window, my friend. Enough nonsense. So let's keep it moving, keep it grooving. How about another play for you guys? I said it at the top of the show, but an A10 Annihilator a day keeps the doctor away. It's good for us all. We're looking for the matchup between the UMass Minutemen and the George Washington Colonials. That game's going to tip off at 6 p.m. Eastern time, my friend. 5 p.m. Central. I didn't look that one up either for you.
I'm going the right way here. I'm probably going the wrong way.
Yeah, you should be going. I think you're going the other way. You're going the other way, so 6 p.m. Central, or Eastern, I'm sorry.
All right.
Geez, now we're into golf.
Bear with me here.
Hey, it's all good. I should have got the doggone rotation numbers. This is my fault. Hey, it makes for good television, We get to see if we can actually find this thing here today. Who knows? A little bit more. Should be right in that ballpark, no?
What they skip
Here,
over?
I'll look up the rotation number real quick. It's okay. I'll look it up real quick. Do not worry. We'll find it. Don't worry, everybody. Everybody remain calm.
I got it.
Remain calm. Got it?
You said UMass?
Yeah, UMass and George
Yep.
Mason. All right, rotation number 753, 733, 734. Alrighty, sounds good. Let's dive into that bad boy. Again, the 8 and Annihilator. A day keeps your doctor away, my friends, just like an apple, but in the betting version. We're taking George Washington Colonials plus 2.5. I love it even more at the plus 3. Oh, baby, look at it holding at 3 across the market. I absolutely love it. This one jumped off the screen as being a huge setup for me, to tell you the truth. Number one, because the public knows the brand name of the Minutemen, and they will be all in on this short number. I guarantee you can look right now, and you will see a boatload of money in bets coming in. I'll talk about just exactly what the split are here shortly, but I'm also banking on the fact that number two, the public does not give a damn about George Washington. George Washington is just going to be fading them off of not knowing their name. Now, who is the Colonials? I mean, UMass was great last year. We might as well keep riding them, especially as a short favorite. Wow, that's awesome. And I guarantee you that 99% of the public has not spent any time watching either one of these teams. But you know who has, Mr. Dawson? The man you refer to as the mid-major king. That's right. I pay attention to these two teams, and I pay attention to this line movement, or lack thereof, rather. Line opened up, UMass minus 2.5. You just see it there. Mostly holding at a soft 3. I'd call that a soft 3 across the market. And then I saw it's up to 3.5. UMass minus 3.5 on PointsBet Illinois. But, you know, I'm sure every sharp is telling their sharper friends to go hammer in bets at PointsBet Illinois. You know, that's the book that they go and play. So obviously got to be ticking it up for those guys. Don't want to take too much more of their money in. It's a setup. I'm joking. Come on. Obviously, this line is frozen once again. I've talked about it all day long since we've already been on this show for what? Short 22 minutes. This line is frozen despite UMass minus 3 getting 66% of bets and 63% of money at consensus. And honestly, today, to say that they are overvalued is an understatement. They haven't been worth a damn lately. 2-3 straight up and against the number, their last 5 overall. In this spot specifically this season, they haven't been worth a damn. 2-4 against the number as a 1 to 4.5 point favorite this season. So I really don't care if this line moves up to 4.5 to 5, wherever it wants to move in this 1 to 4.5 range. They are simply not good in this spot at all. They're also 7-11, 7-10-1 against the number, 7-11 straight up, 7-10-1 against the number in conference play. Inconsistent at best, as I like to say, but I want you to remember that 7-10-1 ATS in conference play. As we move into George Washington, who is 2-3 straight up, 2-2-1 against the number in their last 5. So I know, not setting the world on fire either. 2-1-2 against the number as 1 to 4.5 point dogs this season. So again, I know not great, but a little bit better than that 2-4 ATS for the opposite side there in the Minutemen. But what I love the most is I told you to remember that conference play number. Take the pin out, because George Washington might be 8-9 straight up in A10 play, but they're 11-6 against the number against A10 opponents. They've been undervalued all season long, and I think they're undervalued here again today. And you're going to hear a lot of people say, if you're going to go to other sources to find a play on this matchup, oh, UMass shoot, quote me, I promise you. UMass shoots the 3 ball extremely well. They're so good. They're going to run away with this one. They're going to shoot the lights out. Well, sure, they might. But the one thing that George Washington does so well as a defensive unit is defend the 3 ball. UMass, 37th in 3-point field goal percentage. That is a true stat, not per KenPom, true stat. 37th in the nation. George Washington, 36th in the nation defensively in 3-point field goal percentage allowed. If they do one thing good, it is defend the 3 ball, and they are inside the top 150 in field goal percentage straight up just from the floor. So I love this defense to step up when we need it to. I think it's being a little undervalued. And much like I just talked about Fordham, I might flip this line and put George Washington as the -3 favorite. But I will take all the points the books are willing to give me, as I suggest you do too. But for the second and final time here today, my friends, you don't believe me, believe the trends. UMass, 2-9-2 against the number, their last 11 overall. 1-4-1 against the number, their last 6, following a straight-up win. 1-3-1 ATS, last 5 as a favorite, and 0-5 ATS, their last 5 on a neutral court. George Washington, 9-3-1 against the number, their last 13 games overall. 6-1 ATS, last 7, following a straight-up loss. 7-2-1 ATS, their last 10 as a dog. 10-3 ATS, their last 13 versus an A10 opponent. And I had to double check this, but this is not a typo. George Washington is 9-1 straight up and against the number the last 10 meetings with UMass. Won multiple games as sizable dogs and as small dogs. I love them in this spot. I think they win it outright once again, but I will take all 3 points the books are willing to give me. Second final best bet, 8-10 Annihilator Day. Keep the doctor away. George Washington Colonials, +3.
Yeah, a UMass team that, geez, since Calipari left, has never, they had a little run with Bruiser Flint, but they just have been struggling ever since. And kind of odd, there's certain teams when you see them as a favorite smell to holy heaven. And obviously this is one of them. Again, great eyes. I 100% agree with you here.
Appreciate you, my friend. Let's get another one of the pay window. 2 for 2. How about that?
And believe it or not, Florida gets into overtime. So anyone that had Florida today, you still have a shot there. And then Ed Cooley doing what the Friars do. Hang around, and then close you out 65-61.
Wow, and they were what, 6.5-point favorites, I believe it was?
They closed at 7.5.
Okay, so failed to cover either way. So there you go. Butler cashes another tickets for everybody who was brave enough to back that old public dog. Because boy, oh boy, were they a severe public dog this morning. Whew.
They get yeah. You know something? I of course on my timeline comes up 5 years ago. I took the family to the semis at MSG, and COVID got into the way of making it an annual trip. Plus, I leave on Tuesday, so it makes it real tight when you got a long extended trip heading after that weekend. And it's only 4 hours from here to MSG, so it's not that bad of a ride. And it's such a, if you ever got a chance to get down there for the weekend, catch the semis, or the old days, you used to get one ticket and you used to watch like 6 games. It was just amazing. But they call it the Mecca for a reason. So nothing better than the Big East.
Yeah, I would love to, to be at MSG, let alone for any event. I mean, for the Big East tournament, goodness gracious, all Friday. You know me and my basketball. Whew, I'd be all about it, my man. That's one place I want to go. Check off the bucket list. Someday soon. Someday soon, I'll be in there.
I'll meet you at the window.
Sounds good.
What's next?
That is all I got for straight plays. Those are the 2 that I got. I got the board bender parlay. You want a little pizza and beer money? You want to do a little bit of that action? We'll just rifle those off right away. I don't have too much analysis, but these are a lot of those frozen line plays, a lot of severe monetary liability, kind of what I've been talking about the entire show. So leg number 1, we're taking the ECU Pirates +5. Actually, that one might have tipped off. That one tipped off at 12 o'clock, I do believe. So let me make sure before I tell you that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that one did. So I'll tell you the rest of the legs. I just want to make sure before I tell you. Yeah, it did. Tied 47-47, 14 minutes in the second half. So looking good so far. Creighton is the next leg. Yeah, they don't tip off until 1:30 p.m. Central. So holy shit, it's about to tip off. Okay, Creighton +3, leg number 1. Boston College +7.5, leg number 2. UC Irvine +1.5, leg number 3. Maryland +2, leg number 4. And UC Riverside, leg number 5. Now, I'm going to go back all the way through those because Creighton will tip off. So Creighton +3, Boston College +7.5, UCI +1.5, Maryland +2, and UC Riverside -3. So that'll be, I'm guessing, with everybody kind of listening right now, scrambling around, trying to get their sports books pulled up, or maybe they're watching a little bit later. Either way, whatever the case might be, it would probably be the Boston College +7.5, California Irvine +1.5, Maryland +2, and Cal Riverside -3. Now, I know there's probably one in there that I mentioned you'll probably want to talk about, so whenever you're ready, we can definitely cross that bridge.
Well, I have to say, again, it's amazing. Experts, professionals, whatever you want to say, how everyone reads the board and does their thing. Every day at the closing bell and the breakfast bankroll, me and Scotty, he does something entirely different. Now, I'm going to go into one of your plays here,
Oh yeah.
and I'm going to show you something that I saw and what attracted me to it. Come
Uh oh.
on.
Uh oh. Uh oh.
Uh,
Do 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 do
okay,
do do.
come
Bear
on.
with us, folks. Bear with us, folks. It's okay. Everything's good to go. No problems. No problems. It's all good in the hood.
And of
What
course, I had the game up.
what game you what game you looking for?
The Irvine,
Oh, Cal Irvine.
the Cal Irvine, here it is, right here, 793, 794. Um,
Wow, they flipped to a 2.5 favorite.
yeah,
Wow.
and so
Wow.
went from last
Oh
night
shit.
to this morning.
And Maryland flipped to a -2 favorite. Am I seeing this wrong? No
Maryland.
way. Did Maryland flip too? I gotta look here. This might be wrong, but
Hold
holy
on.
smoke!
Um,
I don't think they flipped. That's crazy. We can talk
no,
about it if it did. Okay, they're
there's
still.
no way they could have flipped.
No, I don't think so. It was just it was showing as -2 over here. I don't know. I'll look at it here in a second. I was just tracking something over here while you were pulling that up, but I don't know. It's kind of wild.
What's the rotation number on the twerps?
I don't know off the top of my dome. I didn't have the rotation numbers pulled up. I don't know what it is off the top of my head on that one. I don't think
What
it did, Jeff. I don't think it
what
did. Don't worry about it. I don't think it did.
what time does it tip off?
I'll look at it here in a second. I can pull it up here in just a second. I'm just tracking something else. I'll pull that one up here too. What do you got for that UC Irvine game? I'll
So, so,
check it out
so
here.
in other words, yeah, you're just watching this last night,
Hmm.
and Irvine was -1, and then I wake up early in the morning and I see the Sharps absolutely crush Santa Barbara. So the two games that we had given out today, obviously, we're 0-1 with Mason. I leave the Hoosiers on the desk, of course, so technically should have been 1-1. But our second game of the day was Santa Barbara, and but I'm going to give you a little inside here. This thing went up as high as 3. Now it's tracking back down to 2, 2.5. We got a -2. So again, not saying you're on the wrong side either. I just went with the overnight from a +1 to a -2, 2.5. That's all.
Oh, yeah, I actually I did not see. Yeah, for some reason I don't know why this was showing them as -2. That makes no sense. Okay, so yeah, the fact that it's up to 2, I'm not really worried about at all. UCSB has been a setup in this spot all year long, especially soft movement like that. When you're seeing 72% of money wagered on a game at consensus, you'd like to see a little bit more than a hook and a point. I'm not all the way sold on UCSB. They've been even with the flip. I think it's a fake flip. I think a lot of public and a lot of experts, like we like to talk about, are kind of bought into that game, and that 58% of bets and 72% of money really scares me away. So I would say I still love UC Irvine plus the 1.5. I love them at the plus 2.5 still as well. I think it's just a little bit of a setup there for the Gauchos.
Now going to the Big Ten, we'll be talking to Riley obviously tomorrow morning. Again, when I open up from the night to the early morning, I have some great communication with Tim Murray over at VSiN, and we call them the stench plays and what really stinks. And my love affair with the twerps. It doesn't matter which
Mm-hmm.
side I go, but two things stick out here. Number one, Michigan State only opening up -3. Who another team that's been playing bad, real bad, uh, and the line drops to 2. And we all know Michigan State, what a public favorite they are. It's Izzo's Armies, it's March Madness, it's that time, and they've been nowhere to be found. And it's almost like you opened them at 3 and the line drops to 2. So I love where your eyes are. I can tell you this. I will not be on the twerps. I love the twerps, but I'm not going to play them. Therefore, they're going to
Oh yeah.
cover and probably win.
Okay, hey, that's all good. What if that's what you got to do not to mush us, that's all right, Mr. Dawson. But You are right. 84% of the bets and 65% of actual money wagered on the Michigan State Spartans -2 on this spread here. And yeah, the line opened at 3, down to 2, hard 2 across the market, and it is frozen, my friend. So big fan of the twerps in that spot, as you like to say, but I couldn't figure that I would be able to get you on the boat in any capacity. So there you go. There you have it. The board bender parlay.
Well, you see, I went deep into the archives for you today. You do see my jacket top there, right?
Yeah, you got a little Jordan action. What's going on? What a little 3/4 zip. I like it. It's fresh.
This is like from way back. This is like
Yeah.
I only pull this out for special
Oh,
occasions.
it's got the little pinstripes on the on the sides too. Whoo, the little red bit. That's icy. That's
When
icy,
I
Mr. Dawson. Is
when
that
I
a full zip or is it just a 3/4?
no, it's a full.
Oh, it's a full. Oof. Oh, yeah.
When I
I'm all
walk
about
in
it.
the north end and I walk into the garden, it's like
The
parting the rain.
garden. I love it. I love it.
All right, I'm going to put you on the spot here as we're going
Mm,
to before we close.
I
We
love it.
don't have brackets, um, but you are the mid-major king,
Whew.
and so I want you to give the public because we won't be on unless we go remote next week. You will be in Vegas. Actually, you will be in the air at this time next week,
Yeah,
right?
this time next week. Yeah, we touch down 2 o'clock Vegas time, 2 o'clock Pacific next week, next Thursday. So yeah, we fly out of here 12. I don't know, it's like 12:30 Central Time. So yeah, we'll be up in the air. We'll probably be just losing sight of all the green lusciousness of the Midwest, if you will, and starting to go over the dusty hole in the desert. But hey, I absolutely love it.
I'm just going to throw this out there. I could wait till we go behind the desk, but just float this around with you and Riley since you both take off on Thursday. I will be a day in, obviously, actually 2 days in. Our buddy um, Andrew, who I
Mhm.
had on yesterday, I will be doing a
Shout out.
live show at 7 a.m. Vegas time on Wednesday because that's a travel day for him. So float this between you and Riley, just think it out. I know you guys are leaving on Thursday. Maybe we could have a three-way on Wednesday before you guys get in the air, talking the before the tournament starts. And we could do all three of us on here at once and kind of
Well,
have some fun with it on next Wednesday.
well, I
Obviously, check with your agent.
I'm gonna have to move a couple things over here on the old calendar. You know, I'm a very, very sought after fella, Mr. Dawson. Being the mid-major king and all. Yeah, I think we could pencil you in. I think, yeah, I think we got you. We got you. No
Well,
problem. We could probably work something like that.
with Harry, the agent, and
Sure enough.
and obviously we got to check with the cheesehead, who's probably still dancing
Stop.
around, butt naked because
Stop.
Ron.
I don't even. Let's not even give him the satisfaction. He's not even here. Let him do that bullshit on tomorrow's show. I don't need it. I don't need it. I went through it. It happened live on the screen. I looked at him. He hadn't seen it happen yet. I looked at him live on the screen on our show. I said, "Don't you move your damn eyes." And his eyes got real big and he goes, "What?" And I said, "I'm about to make you the happiest man on the planet, but you better not look at your damn phone." And he knew what I was doing as soon as that happened. And I was like, Aaron Rodgers signs 4-year extension with the Green Bay Packers. And he goes, 4 years? And ever since then, I haven't been hearing the end of it. So please, for the love of goodness, even though I just gave him the floor and he's probably laughing his little cheese head off right now and the cheddar's rolling out of his ears, give it to him tomorrow. Yeah, Aaron Rodgers stays around. I don't know. I get 4 more years of ownership. Yeehaw, hi-ho, silver. See what happens with the old Bears. Who knows? But yeah, man, I love that idea for Wednesday. Honestly, we're not gonna do an episode of the Talking the Line pod on Thursday because that obviously we'll be driving over to the airport. So we were kind of thinking of doing something funny, something special on Wednesday. So maybe that's something good. We just instead of excuse me instead of just talking, doing our usual show, we could pop you guys on because we'll just have our usual show. We'll just do it an hour early, and we can send you guys an invite. You just come on our show, and we can just do it a talk in the line and guest, and kind of lay the stage of, hey, here's some content to expect. Because what we're thinking of doing too, not to give any too much away, we probably won't have any of our shows out there. But we do have a lot of stuff planned. Like I'll have all of my equipment, I'll have all of my cameras, all of my mics, like all the shit that I need. So we got some stuff. It's just depending on the lay of the land. We got some stuff, some fun stuff cooked up. So we got plenty of stuff coming.
All right, mid-major king, putting you on the spot without brackets. We don't know.
Oh,
I mean, obviously, you know who's in from your conference. I want a team to look out for. Someone that
oof.
if you got a good book, you can
Mm.
maybe get a Sweet 16. Sometimes you get Final Fours. I get that, but give me one or two teams. I mean,
I like that.
back in the day when Butler was small and way back when the Zags were small, those aren't the small teams anymore. Obviously, Loyola Chicago. I don't know about a Missouri State. Obviously, is it going to be one and done over there? But who you eyeing? Who you thinking?
I don't want to go outright winner just quite yet, and I just flicked open FanDuel. Free plug, there you go. They don't have like Sweet 16 or anything like that yet. They do have the Final Four and National Champion. So I'll go a little bit more zoomed out. I'll go Final Four, team to watch out for, and team that I think could be very, very, very intriguing. Just kind of flicking along here because usually this is how I do it, and it just pops out to me like, oh man, this could be really intriguing. Um, Wow. I don't want to put the cart in front of the horse, but I am a pretty doggone big fan of the LSU Tigers.
Okay.
And at plus 2,500 odds for a Final Four run. Now, don't quote me on this, but hey, keep keep it in the archives. Feel free to pull it out to the surface. Everybody, I'm the smartest man on the planet, but with Xavier Pinson coming back, I mean, he's already been back, but how he has come back, that is a Final Four team. Like, they can compete with anybody in the SEC. They can compete with anybody in the Big 12, Big 10. Like, I firmly believe that they can compete with anybody. And the main thing is the three ball. And we've already seen it this season, this postseason. The three ball is one of the biggest things because what's going to happen, Jeff, is it's going to come down to the tick, 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 10, 9, 8, 6, 4, throw up a shot. It's the three ball. And at the end of the day, the LSU Tigers have more guys than I can count on my hands in their starters and in their bench that can knock down that three ball. And also guys who have ice in their veins. And you can go ahead, just type in LSU clutch moments from this season, and I'm sure you could pull up highlights for all over the place because they have some guys that are some clutch damn players, and that's what it takes when it comes to making plays and making picks here in this time of the year. So shout out my girl Megan making money. Haven't talked to you forever and a day. You still follow me. I still follow you. Your damn Tigers are coming out of nowhere. Shout out Kelly too, co-host on Money Shots. Appreciate the hell out of both of you, Kelly Stewart. Yeah, if I'm a long shot to the old Final Four, I don't mind a little piece in beer money on the LSU Tigers at the plus 2,500.
Interesting, because I asked the guests this week if you had to choose one conference to cut down the nets. You only had one conference. You didn't have to pick a team. You had a
Mm.
conference, and the mindset to a lot of people right now is the SEC because you know I'm late to the party. I don't have any shares. I'm going to be honest. The
I don't
Wildcats,
either.
Kentucky look like a real tough out. They can beat you 65-64. They can beat you 85-80. And I'm not saying it's one of his best teams, but I'm going to go out on a limb here. And I says, I think this is Calipari, one of his best years coaching. I think he's really melded that team real well, and they're just playing amazing. But if you took the SEC, you got Auburn, you got Kentucky, you got an LSU team. I didn't
Mm-hmm.
even mention Arkansas yet,
Mm-hmm.
and I assume Florida will probably sneak in there. But if you had to pick one conference, is that where you would end up going?
I mean, I suppose, but I don't think so. I think I'm going to go back to the Big 12. I
Okay.
think I'm gonna go back to the Big 12. They just have so much damn raw talent, and we've been talking about. I know, actually, no, I'm not. Okay, I saw Texas Tech. I like that. I'll tell you where I'm gonna go, and that's the Pac-12, and that's the Arizona Wildcats. That's the Arizona Wildcats. I've been talking about them for so long. Shout out Mr. Lucky. I know you're watching this now or at some point in time. Mr. Fade Follow. Appreciate you, my friend. But the Arizona Wildcats plus 125 to make the Final Four. That's not unreasonable whatsoever. I would buy a share of that if I was a betting man. Actually, I might add that to my bet slip there. And then as far as the national champion at plus 600, I mean, they're the second favorite. They've just been cooking along quietly. And I mean, I think that they can hang with the Kentucky. They can hang with the Duke. Duke. I mean, look what Duke's doing right now. I mean, I know it's the conference tournament, but the ACC has not been that, and they haven't been that conference this year. Neither has the SEC. So I mean, you can definitely say that. But these classic teams, the Blue Bloods, the Power Fives that everybody knows and loves, just have not been those teams this year. And I don't know. I think it's going to be one of the craziest March Madnesses we have seen in a long time. And do not be surprised to see a 13 or 14 seed in Sweet 16. Mark my words.
Well, we here. I think I've told you. I'll just tell everyone on the show. And yes, shout out to all the loyal listeners. We
Shout
can't
out.
do it without you. I'm telling you,
100%.
Mr. Lucky, Billy Hewlin, Marty Lowe, you
Phil Dunaway.
Phil,
My guy, Philly.
Philly, silly
Hey,
Philly.
he pops over to the TTL pod now. We got him coming over and checking out the TTL pod now. So, hey, I absolutely love it. Shout out Phil. Shout out Lucky. Shout out everybody. We appreciate the hell out of you guys.
In our stable right now, and we purchased these preseason and throughout the year. Obviously, UConn at 100-1. We have.
That is just surprising. You betting on UConn on the future, that shocks the hell out of me. I fucking hell must be freezing over. Man, I'll be damned.
I got Auburn at 18-1
Mm,
before they became number one.
I like that.
We got Arizona at 17-1.
I love that.
And we got Texas Tech at 30-1.
Love that too. I love all of those. Absolutely.
I will tell you, a friend of mine came up with the craziest one though, and I think you'd buy in on 2/3 of this, and you get
I'm
the
crazy.
3/3.
You know I'm bananas. Wait, no, I went crazy off my forehead this morning, but just to confirm, I'm crazy. I'm all about crazy.
The year of the cat. You get the Arizona Wildcats, the Kentucky Wildcats, and you get Villanova.
And you want to get? Oh, I guess they got bounced. Kansas State Wildcats would have been cool, but they got bounced yesterday against West Virginia. I don't think there's any other cats. I don't think there's any more cats. And I don't. Yeah, Kansas State wouldn't be in the tournament. So yeah, hey, I like that though. Can you parlay that up? Can you parlay that?
You could probably get that at Circa if you wanted to. They put
Wow.
together anything, but
Nova. What was the first one? Nova, Kentucky, and
Arizona.
Arizona. Yeah, that's right. Arizona, Nova, and Kentucky. That's there's some psychology behind that. I know there's like some test in psychology. They ask you like three things, and like 99% of people can only remember two of the three things. Well, there's a prime example of it. There you go, right here, live in the flesh. But now I can remember them all: Arizona, Kentucky, and no, I can't remember them all. Look at that. See, isn't it crazy? You can only remember two. Now I can't go the other one.
Nova.
Villanova.
I'll give you the Villanova carrot. Rumor has it they're going to keep him back east, and they're going to get 2 games in Philadelphia, which is like a cakewalk if they're playing there. So that's your little caveat, So again, I was too late to Kentucky. I got Arizona, obviously at an amazing price. I can't buy into Nova because I'm a UConn guy. But again, listen, Gillespie, I saw it 10 rows in front of my eyes. Never seen a team work together like a team. It was like watching Hoosiers. And they had guys in sweatsuits helping out the UConn guys wiping the floor. I mean, they just all in unison. Everyone knows their part in that team. And you get a Connor Gillespie that I think was playing back with Josh Hart. I mean, it seems like he's been there that long. They're dangerous. They are dangerous.
He's like the Brad Davis of the Big East, is what he is. I mean, that's literally what Gillespie is. And I mean, I think he would have moved on. Maybe that's too big of a step, too broad of a stroke. Maybe he would have moved on if he wouldn't have torn that ACL last year. But nonetheless, I mean, he's still got another shot to come back and give it an old whirl. Because I mean, Villanova kind of unceremoniously getting bounced last year. So I don't know. We'll see what Villanova does. I like the Cats from time to time. I'm a big fan of the Wildcats, but. You know me at this point in time. If I'm going with anybody out of the Big East, I'm taking my Friars, baby. Ed Cooley living the American dream. Like you said, hang around, hang around, hang around, jack around. All of a sudden, they just won again and they moved on to the next round. All you got to do is win by a point. That's it. You ain't got to do nothing. They don't care about the point spread in March. Clearly, they don't care about the point spread in March. All you got to do is win by a point on a crazy last second bucket. So be leery of that. Don't be surprised. Maybe that UNLV play. Maybe that's one of them. Maybe that's what this comes down to. UNLV, end of the game, running down. Holy shit, three-pointer. Oh my gosh, UNLV just won 68-67. Covered the +1. I don't know. Something to think about. Call me crazy now. Feel free to quote me later.
On the bottom of the screen, at Colt TTL Sports, at Talking the Line, a.k.a. the mid-major king himself.
Texas A&M just took it in overtime. They just knocked off Florida in overtime. Down goes Chomp Chomp. See you later, Gator. Whoo, boy. I think that puts them out of the tourney, doesn't it? Or no? Damn close.
It's like the ACC. They're going to force a couple teams in from the ACC. Yeah. I don't think you have to force in the SEC. I mean, again, you have Auburn, you have Kentucky, you have Arkansas, you have Tennessee. Right. Okay. Anything after that is gravy. So, I mean, maybe they'll throw what do you got? Florida, Mississippi State. I don't know. I mean, how many more do they need in there? I don't think Florida deserved it.
No, I don't think so either. Not with how they played. I mean, now, obviously, with the injury to Castleton for a good month it was, I feel like he was out. I mean, obviously, you can make an argument there, but I don't know. I just like I said it a minute ago. The SEC and the ACC were not the same conferences that we know and love of old. I mean, Syracuse pulled one out of their ass yesterday. Pardon my French, but they really did. I mean, a lot of teams, because I would have taken Florida State a lot of times in that spot with how the split was. I stayed away, thank goodness. But I don't know. There's just a lot of teams that typically would be making a tournament run that you can typically bank on and hang your hat on. That I think, my friend, we're going to see a lot of mad people throwing a lot of tickets in the window on some of them blue bloods and big favorites come March the 17th, 18th, 19th, 20th, and every weekend following that out there in the old big hole in the desert. But hey, once again, what do I know? I am but a humble peon in this big wheel cog of the sports gambling industry. I don't really know shit about shit at the end of the day. So listen to me, don't listen to me. I can't tell you what to do. I am but a humble messenger. That is it.
Tell all our loyal listeners where they can find you, Riley, all your social platforms, podcasts, and all that good stuff.
You see it down there? If you like negativity and toxicity and all bad vibes, don't follow at Colt TTL Sports. But if you like positivity, laughs, motivation, all that shit in between, learning about NFTs, a space that not a lot of people know hardly much about, very seldom few, follow that down there at Colt TTL Sports. You see it going by. Also follow at Talking the Line right next to it. At Talking the Line is our mine and my partner we talked about, Riley, at RMAX TTL Sports is where he's at too. That is our brand. That is where we put on all of our main content, all of our shows and everything in between. I'll let you kind of check out what all goes on there. But you can either go to at Talking the Line on Twitter, Talking the Line Sports Media on Facebook and YouTube, or you can just go to talkingtheline.com on your favorite web browser and check out everything there. All of our shows, our blogs, our best bets of the day, all of our partners, virtual and real life, everything is there in one convenient location. So just check out talkingtheline.com. As soon as I get off here, I'm actually going to be starting my UFC blog, so you can check out my UFC blog. I drop that every Saturday. I drop it every Friday night to subscribers only. But outside of that, check it all out, talkingtheline.com, and I'll see you guys if you decide to follow me at Colt TTL Sports. I love connecting with new people and going back and forth. I'm a goofball, so come have some fun with me and catch some good vibes. So there you go. There you have it. Colt, Cap, and Colton Sroka.
Oh, the madness never ends. You know, you try, in this thing we call a studio, I got Don Best to the left. That in our 55 minutes, I've gone through 38 alerts. I got Wager Talk to the right. I got us over here, and the phone just won't stop blowing up. I mean,
Mm,
you know, it gets a little. I guess maybe a cup of decaf in between the first three and the last three might
nah,
end.
espresso. I'm good. I keep it pumping. I like this. This is how I flow. This is why I got involved in the NFT space. The real world moves at turtle space compared to that. One day in that space is about 10 years out here. So I'm moving shake, grooving bay. I loved it. I love every moment of this time of the year. I literally, I shit you not, I stay up till 2 p.m. Central and I get up at 5 a.m. Central. Like, I sleep, eat, and breathe the lines, college basketball, everything about this time of the year. And that's not anything unusual. Ask Riley. I do that every day of the week. It's just I'm all about being the night owl and the early bird. So it is what it is. I do what I do. And that's how you get some of the good value. You see some of this line movement too. So I will also be prepared come time we're sitting in the book and it's 2 a.m. Vegas time, really 4 a.m. our time, and I'll still be alive, awake, ready to go, cup of espresso in hand. Yeehaw.
And I'll be the one getting ready to get up for the morning, and you're just coming in.
Nah, a quick half hour of sleep and I'll meet you back at the book. No problem at all. That's what they make coffee and energy drinks for. I'll sleep when I'm dead.
Another hour. An amazing Thursday. Can't thank Colton enough and his partner in crime,
Can't thank
Ryan.
you enough. Thank you for giving. Hey, I know I was tweeted after, but thank you for giving me a platform. Come and speak some nonsense. Anybody who stops by and listens, we've got a good handful of followers that's come over to TTL and even on Twitter said some really humbling, cool things. Like I say, I'm a goofball that can barely wipe dipshit off my forehead every morning. I check, I got it this morning, but I mean, you said it halfway through there, Jeff. For you guys to take the time that you do to consume my content or consume Jeff's content or anything is more than we could ever ask. And from me, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for allowing me to show up every day and just make some content because it's because of you guys that I can keep making content every day. So appreciate the hell out of you.
And right back at you. We're the blessed ones here as well, and it just keeps getting big and bigger. And if anyone watching for the first time is not subscribing to Talking the Line or East Coast Sports Investors over on YouTube, go over there.
Or chalkboard. Make sure you check out my chalkboard, guys. Free plug. These are my guys. You'll see. I want you to meet them out in Vegas. The whole team will be out there. We partner with them. Think Discord, but only sports betting and on steroids. So just everything you could possibly want to track, bet, sync your books, Discord, jump in other Discords, everything. It's awesome. You can only download it on the App Store at Chalkboard HQ on Twitter, but the Chalkboard app on the App Store. So free plug for those guys. They're just good buddies of ours in the space, and we partnered with them a while back ago. Just hey, we love you guys. So shout out Chalkboard too. Want to shout them out.
And I'll have to sit down and talk with them.
Sure enough, yeah, good guys for sure. My guy Ted Mauzé is the CEO of the company, but a lot of them, we'll talk with them for sure. Shout out all the guys for sure if you're tuning in.
So there it is. And remember this, people. There's a lot of games. It was 71 games today, and there'll be probably a tad less tomorrow, Saturday and Sunday, as we get ready for Selection Sunday. But always remember this: if you are investing or wagering, please do it responsibly. Okay, if you have a problem, pick up the phone. There's an 800 number there. Ask for help. Why? Myself and Colton want to see you here today, tomorrow, next week, next month, and through 2022. Everyone have a great day, a blessed day. Cash some tickets, have some fun, and we will see you bright and early tomorrow morning with his partner in crime, Mr. Riley Magnuson.
Drink your water, fix your posture, have a spectacular rest of your day, unless you have other plans.
Peace.